Before we begin today, let me ask you something. How many times have you felt extremely motivated to improve your English? Watched a powerful video, made a big plan, promised yourself from tomorrow I'll practice for 1 hour every day, and then a few days later, life became busy. Your energy dropped, and the plan slowly disappeared. Hello, learners. I'm Caroline, and welcome back to the Koala English Podcast, where we explore English in a way that feels real and practical. I want to talk about something, not motivation, not talent, not intelligence, consistency. Have you ever looked at someone who speaks English confidently and thought, they're just naturally good at this? What if they're not? Fluency doesn't usually arrive in a dramatic moment. It builds quietly, in ordinary days, in short practice sessions, in small decisions to continue even when progress feels invisible. Most people don't quit because English is too hard. They quit because results don't feel fast enough. But language isn't built in bursts. It's built in patterns. And patterns are created through repetition. Today, we're not talking about studying more. We're talking about showing up consistently, even in small ways, and how that changes not just your English, but your identity as a learner. Because when practice becomes predictable, confidence follows. Let's explore why.
Okay, if you're learning English, I have a feeling this is going to sound very, very familiar. You know that whole cycle of starting strong, feeling super motivated, and then you just hit a wall. Let's talk about why that keeps happening and how to find a much, much more powerful way to learn. So it all starts with this massive burst of energy, right? You're online, you find some incredible videos, and you get so inspired. You think, yes, this is it. This is the time I'm finally going to get fluent. And then you decide to invest in yourself. You sign up for that course you've been looking at. You download a new app. You feel that sense of real commitment, and you are ready to go. Then comes the big promise. You look yourself in the mirror and you say, okay, tomorrow is the day. No more excuses. I'm going all in. It feels so powerful in that moment. But after a few days, maybe a week if you're lucky, it just fades. That intense fire you felt, well, it starts to feel more like a tiny flicker. And suddenly those study sessions get shorter, or they just stop altogether. So what is going on here? Is it because you're not smart enough? Or you don't want it badly enough? No, absolutely not. The problem isn't you, it's what you're relying on to keep you going. And that brings us to what I like to call the motivation trap. It's this belief that we have to feel motivated to learn. But here's the thing. Feelings are maybe the most unreliable partner you could ever have for a long-term goal. So why is motivation such a bad partner? Well, because it's based completely on emotion. And our emotions, let's be honest, they are all over the place. Some days you wake up feeling like you can take on the world. Other days you can barely get out of bed. If your English practice depends on that feeling, your progress is going to be just as wild and unstable. And your brain, well, it needs consistency to build those deep pathways for fluency, not just random, exciting bursts of work. All right, so if motivation is the trap, what's the escape plan? This is where we shift our entire mindset to something called the discipline difference. And I promise you, this is where everything changes. Let's get really, really clear on what we mean by daily discipline. This is not about being a robot or forcing yourself to study for 6 hours. Not at all. It's about doing small, manageable things every single day, especially on the days you really don't feel like it. It's all about consistency over intensity. You can see the difference right here. Motivation is a feeling. It comes, it goes. You can't control it. But discipline, that's a decision. You are in control. Motivation needs excitement to get started. But discipline just needs you to take action. And that action creates its own momentum. It's a total game changer. And there's some real brain science behind this. Your brain learns best through repetition. It's like building a path in a forest. The first time is hard, but the more you walk it, the clearer the path becomes. These small daily actions strengthen those neural connections. They build your memory, and they make speaking English start to feel more and more automatic over time. You're building a solid foundation. Okay, so that's all the theory. But what does this actually look like in real life? Let's get really practical and break down how you can apply discipline to your English practice starting today. So let's talk about listening. The old motivation way of thinking is, okay, I'll cram in a 2-hour listening session on Sunday, right? The discipline approach is way smarter. You just say, I'm going to listen for 15 minutes every single day. No ifs, ands, or buts. And just look at what happens. That tiny daily habit adds up to 140 minutes a week. That's actually more than 2 hours of consistent, brain-friendly practice that lets you adapt to the language naturally instead of trying to force it all in at once. All right, now for the big one, speaking. So many of us get caught in this trap of waiting until we feel confident. Here's the solution. You decide to speak for just 5 minutes a day. That's it. Even if it's just to yourself in your room. Describe what you see, talk about your day, just make the sounds. And again, think about the cumulative power of that. If you just practice saying 10 simple sentences every day, by the end of 1 month, you've practiced 300 sentences. You're literally rewiring your brain to see speaking English as a normal, everyday thing, not some big, scary event. And vocabulary? Oh, we've all tried to cram a list of 100 words the night before a test, and then forgotten 95 of them a week later. Discipline says, forget that. Instead, just learn 5 new words. But, and this is the key, use each one in a sentence. You're creating context, and context is how our brains actually remember things. Now, this next part is, for me, the most powerful piece of this entire idea. Because practicing discipline, it's not just about what you do. It's about who you become. Just let that sink in for a second. This is the identity shift. Your whole focus moves from some vague goal in the future to your concrete actions today. You're no longer just someone who wants to speak English. You are someone who works on their English every single day. That's who you are now. And this is where true, lasting confidence comes from. It doesn't come from getting a perfect score or from someone telling you you're great. Confidence is that quiet, deep feeling of knowing that you can trust yourself to keep your promises to yourself. Every single day you show up, you're laying another brick in that foundation of self-trust. So you're probably thinking, okay, I'm in, but how do I start? Let's make this super, super simple with a clear plan to get you started literally right now. Okay, here it is, your action plan. Step 1, choose just one small thing. I mean it, just one, like listening to one song or learning 3 new words. Step 2, give it a specific time, every day at 8 a.m. Step 3, treat it like the most important meeting of your day. It is non-negotiable. Step 4, track it. Get a calendar and put a big X on every day you do it. And finally, number 5, maybe the most important rule of all. You do it even when you're tired. Even a 1-minute session on a bad day keeps the chain going. But I've got to give you one crucial warning here. The number one mistake people make is they start too big. They get excited and try to do too much. That just leads to burnout. The whole point of discipline is to make the habit so small, so easy, that it feels almost silly not to do it. So I'm going to leave you with this one question. Forget about waiting for motivation. Forget about waiting to feel ready. What is the one tiny, non-negotiable action that you can decide right now to start today to build your fluency?
So today wasn't about doing more. It wasn't about studying longer. It was about understanding something simple. That small, repeated effort changes you more than rare bursts of motivation ever will. Consistency is quiet. It doesn't impress people. It doesn't create dramatic before and after moments, but it builds something stronger than excitement. It builds trust in yourself. Trust that you will show up even on ordinary days, even when progress feels slow, even when no one is watching. And that's how real fluency grows. Not through pressure, not through perfection, but through repetition, through returning, through choosing again and again to continue. So this week, don't aim to be intense. Aim to be steady. Choose one small action. 5 minutes of listening, speaking one paragraph out loud, reviewing vocabulary before bed. Keep it simple. Keep it sustainable. Let consistency carry you forward. If today's episode reminded you that slow progress is still powerful progress, please like this video so more learners can discover it. Subscribe to the Koala English Podcast for weekly practical lessons that help you grow steadily and confidently. And if you know someone who feels discouraged or stuck with their English, share this episode with them. Sometimes One reminder is enough to keep someone going. And before you leave, I'd love to hear from you. What small habit will you commit to this week? Write it in the comments below. Say it clearly. Make it real. Your commitment might inspire someone else to stay consistent too. Thank you for learning with me, and I'll see you in the next episode.